Okay guys, I've got 3 relatively clean barrier support serums that do different things. And for those of you who've been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to clean ingredients list. And choosing the wrong one for your skin type, well, this video may save you time, money, and frustration. So let's start the comparisons. I put the links in the description below if you want to try them. I personally purchased all of the serums and tried them. And I will say, full disclosure, that the first one that we're going to be talking about is the one that I have the most confidence in, because this is the one that I personally use as well as for a lot of my clients. And it ranged everywhere from super duper sensitive person all the way to somebody who had acneic skin type and their skin was very sensitive, to tretinoin use. So, and everybody in between. So let's start off with the lightest serum first. Okay, so the first serum is actually the most lightweight. It's 85% organic. So for those of you who want clean ingredients list, this is it. The first ingredient is aloe vera juice, which is great because it has a natural humectant because of the polysaccharides in aloe vera juice. So it has aloe vera juice, hyaluronic acid, and beta-glucan. All 3 are humectants, and beta-glucan is anti-inflammatory. The antioxidants in this is vitamin E and resveratrol. The oils in this is only 2 types. It's sunflower oil for essential fatty acid from sunflower oil, and jojoba oil, which makes your skin readily accept it because it's most similar to your skin sebum. Now, because it's so lightweight, it can be layered as a moisturizer booster for those of you who have lipid poor skin. But most importantly, if you have skin that's inflamed and there's heat, this lets the skin breathe. So a lot of those skin barrier serums, it'll make your skin feel kind of sticky. That's usually from a synthetic humectant like petylene glycol or butylene glycol. This one doesn't have that. And it doesn't feel greasy because your skin readily accepts it. So this is the MD Dermaceutical Dewdrops. If you notice, the texture is more of a cream gel. So no matter how much you put on there, it's not going to feel greasy because of the jojoba oil in there. So I've used it for a whole array of my clients, including rosacea, severe acne, and my own skin, postmenopausal skin. So it feels really good glowing on. There's no emulsifiers, there's no silicone or anything like that. So what happens is it just gets absorbed in here. And for those of you who have lipid poor skin, this is where you layer on the moisturizer. And what's great about this is if you have burning skin, it actually lets the skin breathe. It doesn't trap the heat in, so it doesn't extend the inflammation. Okay, so the next one up is the Ordinary Rice Lipids and Microemulsion. So this texture is, I would say, very similar to half and half. So it's milky, but not too watery. So if you notice right here, see how it's still pretty fluid. So this is the star ingredient in this is Ectoin. So Ectoin naturally reduces inflammation. It is great for dry, damaged skin barrier. And if you have oily but dehydrated skin, this might work better for you, especially if you don't like the feel of heavy creams. Now this one, I can tell like it's readily absorbed, the first one, but this one still feels kind of tacky, a little bit chalky. It almost feels a little bit chalky. So, but it can be ideal for you, for those of you who have who need a little bit more moisture. Your skin is not quite as inflamed. The first one is much better if you're carrying heat. This one is good if you just have low-level inflammation. But here's the catch. If your skin barrier is severely damaged, then this product may not be enough. This product doesn't contain a strong enough ceramide, cholesterol, and fatty acid system. This product can help support the barrier, but it lacks the lipids to help rebuild the missing lipids in very dry skin. Now here's the caveat. It does include pentylene glycol. This can be used as a preservative booster, humectant, or a solvent. Now this is a petroleum-based ingredient, and so for those of you who are concerned about the chemicals that are used to refine the petroleum that is linked to endocrine disruptors, then just be aware. Now let's talk about the Cocokind Ceramide Barrier Repair Serum. This serum is much more focused on repairing the skin barrier. This serum contains multiple ceramides, cholesterol, beta-glucan, and squalane. So beta-glucan, just like the first serum that I mentioned, it also contains anti-inflammatories. Squalane, for some people who are more sensitive to having breakouts, this one you may want to avoid. So instead of just calming the skin, it's actually trying to replenish some of, not all, but some of the lipids that your very dry skin may be missing. And this is what very dry, compromised skin needs. The texture is very nourishing, it's very comforting, the skin feels coated, protected, less tight, especially after the dry winter months and after over exfoliating. Now, the surprising downside of the Cocokind Ceramide Barrier Repair Serum is it actually contains two, although very, very mild, and they're considered humectants, they bring moisture to the skin, they do contain two exfoliating acids, lactic acid and gluconolactone, which is the polyhydroxy acid. Now, for most people, they won't even notice it, but for some of you who have extremely compromised skin barrier, or you're having an eczema flare-up and you happen to have some cracks in your skin, this may feel less gentle. You may feel even slightly stinging. So in this case, this is where the ordinary serum might be better. So who should use which serum? So the first one we talked about, the MD Dermaceutical Dew Drops. This is really for all skin conditions, but especially for those of you who have reactive skin. You break out easily, you have easily inflamed skin, you turn red easily, and especially for those of you who just did a post-procedure, this is going to cool down the heat really quickly. Now, for those of you who have mature, more drier skin, you can use this mostly as a moisturizer booster where you put it underneath your moisturizer or your night cream. And for those of you who have extremely oily skin, you can apply this first and then you would layer your sunscreen on top. And for those of you who are more conscious about clean ingredients, this is pretty darn clean. Use the ordinary serum if your skin is red, inflamed, sensitive from retinoids, you don't like heavy creams, you just want to use this as a light moisturizer. It can be used also under sunscreens and makeup. Choose the Cocokind if your skin is flaky, overly dry, mature, and lipid deficient. It's post-procedure and your inflammation has already gone down. And you need just deeper barrier repair. If you are definitely not prone to any type of breakout, this may be something that you can use underneath your moisturizer. I recommend using this at night based on my own experience. When I tried to use it during the day, layering it underneath my sunscreen, it felt very heavy, slightly kind of greasy, and makeup really didn't blend that well. So here's a pro tip. You can actually use the MD Dermaceutical Dew Drops or the ordinary for lightweight hydration during the day. And for more deeper barrier repair, you can use the Cocokind Ceramide Barrier Repair Serum underneath your moisturizer. So let me know in the comments, does your skin prefer lightweight hydration or rich barrier creams? And if you want more videos on clean skincare, how to heal your skin from the inside, and what actually works for your specific skin type, give it a like and subscribe, because remember, makeup is an art, skincare is a science. We'll see you in the next video.